Stand on up with us. Everybody stand on up. Join us for some worship to put us in the right mindset. Let's go. Up. Let's go. All the way up. If you would like to come down to the front, you may. That goes for my middle schoolers. If you would like to come down to the front, you may. And again, just like last week, challenged. Focus on the words. See if you can get something out of it. Maybe wave your arms around like Joseph. Yes, just like that. Yep, we'll take it. All right, you have heard this song before. Sing along with us. All right, I believe. Are you ready to go? Yes, go ahead. Take it away.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Whoa. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Whoa. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Worthy of every song. Worthy of every song we could ever sing. Worthy of all the praise we could ever bring. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. We bless your name.
Thank you for today. Thank you for these kids that are your kids. Thank you that we get to be here, that we get to sing songs about you, that we get to talk about you and learn about you. And thank you that you created every single person in this room on purpose, for a purpose, whether they know it or not, whether they think so or not, whether they believe it or understand it or not. You have a purpose for every single person. And thank you that you love them enough to die for them. And Lord, I ask that you speak to every one of them. And more importantly, they take the opportunity to listen. You're there. You're talking. It's up to us to listen and to build our lives off of your truth, not the world's truth. Sing this with us, and I will build. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken, and I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. And holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those again. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder and show me who you are, and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. Bow your heads and close your eyes again. Thank you for this day again. I've said that 4 times today, and yet I don't think it's enough. But thank you for the gift of this day. Thank you for the gift of all of our days. And I want to thank you specifically for our speaker. I ask that you bless our speaker. Give him the words to say, the wisdom to say it, and the ability to communicate it. And Lord, I ask that you open up our ears, our hearts, our minds to be ready to receive what God has for us today. And in your wonderful name we pray. Amen. You guys may be seated. Thank you so much, Teacher Coalition with Praise Band. And it is my pleasure. Would you like to bring your own podium, sir? It is my pleasure to introduce to you your speaker. Now, in years past, we usually ask students if they would like to speak. There might be a temptation of extra credit or an assignment, but he came to me and said, I have a message that I would like to share. And I said, wonderful. And son of a gun, it was exactly in line with what we had been talking about and what we had planned for the year. So, at least in my opinion, that shows me that God was involved somehow. So, Wyatt, are you ready? Yes? Is your mic on? Oh, you push that button? Yeah, you do. Now check it.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so take it away, sir. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Yes, for some of you who don't know, which it would be kind of surprising if you didn't, I'm the ASB president. Yeah. I'm the ASB president. Before I get started, I would like to maybe go over, I don't know what the word is, get my jitters out. Because, being on stage, I love it, but I also hate it. Because it's I was describing it in my government and econ class, it's like an overdose of attention. Because, I love attention. I'll do stuff. Some of you know that I'll do stuff for attention. And, maybe it's something I should look into. But, no, I'm all shaky. Because it's crazy, I'm up here. But anyways, I just thought I would say a couple things that I wanted to maybe talk about my day, maybe. Today, a friend, Nico, gave me a Pringles can, and that Pringles can, I looked at it for a while, ate all of it, and then I realized you can't fit your whole hand inside of a Pringles can. And it's a problem. It's a real dilemma that I think us as a community, we can use our oneness of unity to tell Pringles, maybe make it half an inch. Yeah, let's call them. No, but yeah, Pringles. But no, if some of you didn't know, this is Miss Kreitz's first slide from last chapel. And yeah, I kind of stole it because she said, hey, you can use mine. I was like, really? Your entire slide? No. But yeah, so this is my first slide. There's not really much to it. It's just unity. It's oneness. Yeah, unity, Does anyone see that? In between the N and the I? Is that a smudge or something? Can we enhance? Oh, one more time. Oh, can we do one more time? Oh, Bernal. I think we're kind of missing the point. I mean, yes, Bernal lives in the I in unity. But no, community. Community. That's what I'm talking about today. Some of you are like, oh, no, why lied to me? It's supposed to be unity. Well, community or communication kind of all work together. And if they're kind of interchanged in this message, I kind of made this really fast because I was really excited about it. So community, unity, and communication are all kind of strewn in there. But they all are for the same purpose. And I'll get to that later on in this slideshow. Yeah, community. Or, in other words, communication. Communication is it's supposed to be my whole thing, but I accidentally put community. So, shame on me. The same, what is that, 5 or 6 letters are the same. So, but yeah, communication, spelled the correct way. Look for when it's not. Yeah, communication. What does communication mean? Definition. The imparting or exchanging of information or views, or the second one, this was number 2 on Google, means of sending or receiving information such as phone lines or computers, or, that definition is kind of old, because phone lines, this could be a cell phone, but that's another thing we need to get on as a community. But yeah, so imparting or exchanging of information or views, that's I don't know, just talking about your day like I did about my Pringles. Or maybe, just something about, I don't know, your day-to-day. I don't know what you guys do. But yeah, so it's just a way of talking. of exchanging, sharing. And interestingly enough, this whole slide was supposed to be like a joke because communy is supposed to be like communism, and it's like sharing, but I misspelled communi, so now it's communication or whatever. So it's a little off, but I still worked with it because I'm me. But no, communication. These are the definitions. Now, I also wanted to go over community. What does community? Question mark, exclamation point. Well, I'll tell you what does community. A group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. Now, we're not all living in the same place, thankfully, because I probably couldn't live with some of you. No offense. But yeah, it's a group of people living in the same place. But we may not live in the same place, but we all go to the school, same school. We call the school. We all go to school, and we all have fun here most of the time. But it's, we're all in this community, this little place. And then the second definition, also from Google, a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. So our goal together, if you haven't picked it up yet, is to become unified. Unity in the community with communication. So it's like alliteration, except it's not. More like rhyming, maybe. But yeah, that's what community means. I wanted to throw that in there, even though it wasn't technically supposed to be mine. But like I said, I kind of like mixed them up a little bit. That's just something I did. But yeah, verses. So verses being verses, and verses being verses, and verses being verses. I didn't want to this isn't like putting things together. It's more like alliteration and something like fun that I thought, because people don't do that. Like, why would they make verses and verses and verses? Verses, verses, verses. So like, what if you had to fight between two verses? Be verses, verses, verses. Anyways, that's just my mind rattling on. Yeah, this is the main verse that was given to the school. This is like the overarching thing. And it is Ephesians 4:2-4. Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowances for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. For there is one body and one Spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future. So we're all in this together. Like High School Musical. And we could do a High School Musical. I mean, I'm down if you guys are, and we can all start singing right now. No, we won't do that. Maybe if we do a little bit more planning, but we'll see. Because that's always cool to bring movies to life, like High School Musical, But yeah, the film class, let's get on that. Where's Mr. Austin? I don't know if he's in here. But yeah. So this is our overarching verse. Now, this is just an overall good verse, You have that making allowances for each other's faults because of your love. So it's like, yeah, people are going to mess up, but you are still going to love them. You're still going to be like, oh, you messed up. It's okay. I still love you. But yeah, you can do that and make an effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit. Now, united in the Spirit, what I think of when I read that is, just go to church or, maybe youth groups or something. Because, when you're all together, the Holy Spirit's I don't know, I picture it like swimming around or something. But it's it's around, it's in each and every one of us, if you accept Jesus. But you have to accept him in there. But yeah, the Spirit, and for there's one body, so it's all together. But yeah, that's all the time I really wanted to spend on that one. But 1 Peter 3:8-9 in RSV. That's my favorite Bible genre. What is it? Book? No, it's not book. Favorite version. Yes, that's what the V stands for. Right. Finally, all of you have unity of spirit. Unity. It's pretty cool. And it's again about unity of spirit. But sympathy, love for one another, a tender heart, and a humble mind. Do not repay evil for evil or abuse for abuse, but on the contrary, repay with a blessing. It is for this that you were called, that you might inherit a blessing. I forgot to take out my notes. But I wanted to talk about on this verse because this was the first verse that came to mind, or it's the first verse that, like, I saw. But I don't know. It's just the first thing I saw. Hold on, there it is. So in this chapter, and I have to talk about the whole chapter, because my grandma said if I just cited Bible verses out of the blue, then there'd be a problem, and the people would just take them or something. Just take them as it is, and that's good. So thank you, Grandma, if you're watching. But no, 1 Peter 3:8-9, with this verse, I kind of got the feeling, because like I'm a very, ostentatious. I'm outgoing. I'm very say what's on my mind most of the time until I don't want to. But yeah, I like to talk. I like to communicate. And every time that I seem to communicate or like whatever, I'm saying a joke in class because I'm always doing that, But I'm doing something along those lines, and then like occasionally I'll be like, living my best life, and then all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, it'll be an insult or I won't want to say abuse or evil necessarily, but it's something that brings you down. It's something that you don't expect because, you're trying to just do what you want to do. But it hurts, and it's always seemed like in my life that my opinion is wrong. But it's not. Like, if I want to communicate something, if you guys want to communicate something, it's not wrong to share your opinion. It's not bad to simply tell someone something that you're thinking. Now, if they take that thought and they take it as an insult or whatever as wrong, then that's a different story. But as long as you're able to know that, like, you can talk to people, you can communicate, you can have an opinion on different things, and you can have people disagree with you, but what I would like to see is just opinions don't need to be wrong. They don't. You can be able to talk to someone and tell them, what your thoughts are without, I want that to be the idea, is you can talk to someone without having them talk back to you in a negative way. But yeah, anyways, the idea behind 1 Peter, so beforehand is about kind of like, what do you got? It's like the husbands and wives, and it's like there's this whole thing about wives respecting your husbands, and then there's like 2 sentences about husbands, like, just be nice to your wives, like, respect her. Like, it's already, just be nice. And that's my summary of it. Yeah. And then there's also, after this verse, it talks about suffering for being different. And now it's talking about, like, being persecuted as like a Christian and everything, because there are going to be times in your life when you're a Christian and all of a sudden, like, people are like, whoa, I don't agree with that. It's like, well, but no, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. And suffering for being different, I took that again, being different, as each of us are, which is very cool, but we are all different. We're all our own people. We are living our own lives, doing our own stuff, and we don't have to, like, worry about all these other people, because, like, I do that, and it's in one of these other verses that I have, but, you can't do that to yourself. Moving on. We have Proverbs 12:25-26. Now, this is my favorite chapter in the Bible. I have a favorite verse. You can ask me about it later, but I have a favorite chapter, and this is Proverbs 12. But 25 and 26, I didn't even realize this was in there. But I was reading through it, and here it is. Anxiety weighs down the human heart, but a good word cheers it up. The righteous gives good advice to friends, but the way of the wicked leads astray. Now, anxiety, man, that is tough. Some people are like, oh, Wyatt, you don't have anxiety or whatever. I have anxiety about, like, lots of stuff, and I think everyone does. Just I've found a way to, like, push it aside, letting it weigh down the human heart, my human heart. But that's not good. You should be able to have it lifted. And compliments between someone who's, like, able to just talk to you and, like, wow, You know, you look amazing today. Or like, what? You got new shoes? Man, I've had these for like 5 years. But no, you want to be able to lift someone up. Like one good word, that's it. It's just one good word, like you're nice. Like you don't have to say nice. Well, you're, I guess you don't have to say you're nice. Yeah, you want to show this, love and care for each other. And it's just one word, a sentence at most. And it's just like, you're cool or whatever. But yeah, and then the next part of this, the righteous gives good advice to friends, but the way of the wicked leads astray. Now, this is just simple. Like, when you're in your community groups or whatever, talking with friends, give good advice. Like, don't try not to do the bad advice, because in this connotation, this context, it's like the wicked leads you astray, and it's like, you don't really want to be wicked. But, yeah. But in this chapter, there's a part before it, before this word, and it's about showing like this kindness. It's about wives, and it's about having, if you have a good wife or a good relationship, or having a good, relationship, it's gonna be great, But if you have a bad wife, it'll be like rottenness in your bones, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a lot of work. So you need to be able to find that good relationship, okay? Find the right person and, stick close to them. Whether that's best friend, his girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You have to have that good relationship. It's crucial. And then the rest of it is don't be a fool. Like, don't lie. It's pretty simple. Lying is kind of a bad thing. But, yeah, it's terrible. So don't lie. Don't be a fool. Like, be able to talk with people. Because they're not, like in our community groups or communication groups, we're going to be talking with each other. And, like, what's the point in lying? What's the point in, keeping it all undercover, holding it on your heart as the anxiety weighs down, whatever. But what we want to do in these groups, in these conversations, is be able to, like, let you guys grow. It's supposed to be a safe group, and the fact that we're all going into these groups and it's like, it's like a chore, it's not good, because we should be able to talk with your friend, with your buddy. You should be able to, do something where it's like, it's nice. I can just talk with you, state my opinion, and it just be a safe space, and that's something that's absolutely amazing for me, the idea behind it. And I hope and I pray that perhaps we can get there as a school, that we can unify, communicate, and grow this community together, closer. Because, like, I'm walking around, and I'm like, all these people know who I am, but I don't really know many people, because, like, I've never, like, done this before. I've, like, had, like, 4 or 5 friends at most, and then, like, even then, like, I have my own personal problems with my friends, and it's like, I don't even think about talking with other people, But, yeah, we want you guys to be able to be friendly to each other. Like, it's kind of weird saying it out loud because of how simple it is, but you do. Like, it's just friendliness. But yeah, and then finally, my last verse, my big verse, if you would say. It's pretty big. It's 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Now, this one is like, everyone's like heard this verse, I think. I mean, again, it's my opinion, but 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Therefore, encourage one another and build up each other, as indeed you are doing. So just keep building each other up. Like, don't stop. Like, people might, like, yeah, you have an off day, but then that's the chance for the other person to build you up. That's the chance for the other person to be like, oh, you look nice today. Oh, really? You look nice. Now, don't over-compliment. Then people, that gets too far. But, just be nice. And one thing that I found and remember from, like, a long time ago was, it was like this poem called A Builder and a Wrecker. Now, I memorized this in, like 5th grade for a like spelling bee, or not spelling bee, it was like a talkathon. I don't know what it was. I never went to them because I pretended to be sick every year. But this year I did. And I memorized this poem called A Wrecker and a Builder. Now, in this poem, it's about like a guy who walks up to a construction site and he's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, we're wreckers or whatever, construction workers. And he's like, would these people be able to build? And he's like, no. See, now, the builder takes him like 2 years to build something. But the wrecker can come in here and take it down like fast. Like, have you seen those videos? It's just like, boom, building's knocked over. But yeah, and I think what I got from that poem is there's 2 types of people in this world. There's the wrecker and the builder. Now, you need both of them because you can't just have an old house like sitting around and it's like, oh, let's just build on top of it. No, you need to destroy it. But yeah, there's 2 types of people. And it's good to have both. In my experience, I had wreckers in my life. A lot of wreckers. And it's like, they're not bad people. Like, they're not the villains. Like, they do their job. It's the same as the builder. But, like, I had a lot of wreckers. It's like home wreckers. But, it, like, destroyed my life. And it brought me down. Having all that, like, hate thrown at you, like, it's like, oh, wow, like, why'd you do that? What'd you do this? Whatever this. What are you wearing? Whatever. It's terrible. It's so terrible to live with that many wreckers in your life, and it's, like, beating you down. And, like, from what I've heard, like, even, like, if it's nice or whatever, nice to, like, insult somebody, like, you're still wrecking something. But we need builders. We need people who can build people up, encourage them to feel better, like even just a little bit, and we need them. Like, it's crucial to life. You can't just go around destroying stuff because eventually you're gonna run out of stuff to destroy. You need to build. You need to have someone compliment you. You need to compliment someone else. You need to show love and care and kindness and everything, because there's so much stuff that happens, that goes around, and we all just take it for granted or whatever. But like I was saying, it's so many wreckers. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, and then once I found these builders, like, I'm able to apply them to my life, and it's like, oh, this one can help me with this. This one can help me with this. This one can help me with this. And it's like I have like a whole construction site going on in my personality or whatever. And it's nice. It's nice to be complimented. It's nice to be cared about, to be showed a love that, like, you don't get to see, especially if you're like me. Like, it was mind-blowing to find, like, these people, like, out of the water. Because we get so caught up in, like, one thing, like, oh, this is just life. But it's not just life. You can do stuff about it. You can give it up to God. You can change it. Find people. Find builders. Because there's so many wreckers. Like, you need to be able to do that. You need that for yourself and for other people around you. And be builders, too. Because sometimes, it's hard to be a builder. Because, you are destroyed yourself, like I was saying with the wreckers. Yeah, that's enough about the wrecker and the builder. It's a very interesting poem. I suggest that you look it up and read through it, because it's very, very intuitive. It's very, I don't know. Like, it's weird how it's something from like 5 years ago I was able to use now, because it was something I didn't want to do either, and I just have it memorized in my brain. Well, not completely memorized, but it's just something that I've been thinking about a while. Like, what does it mean? Little 10-year-old Wyatt or whatever. But it's hard. It's hard being in high school, so you might as well try to do something with it. Might as well try to show some care, some compassion, some, just little things. Because, like I was saying, it's mind-blowing. If you show someone love, and, like, it's like, wow. Because it's, a lot of times people get caught up in their own space, in their own world or whatever, and that world is just, it's getting destroyed. and to have someone build something new and to start something new, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I think that's about my entire chapel message. Miss guys can come back up here.
Okay, stay here for just a second. Was that, we're not counting middle school chapel, let's pretend that didn't happen. Was that kind of your first time talking in front of people like this?
Well, yeah, on like a message in a day-to-day. Like, I did do it before technically, but that was more like fun. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But this is like,
Well, this is a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Was it something that you were just like, it'll be fine, or did you have to work for this?
This, like, what?
This one right here.
This chapel message?
Uh-huh.
Well, I threw this together in like 15 minutes. Like, I've been thinking about doing a chapel message for like so long because, people need to hear,
I agree, and I think you communicated it very well. Can we get another round of applause? Because that takes a lot, especially getting up in front of people that you have to look in the face every day, people that you have to see, people that you have to communicate with. But I am proud of you. That was very well done. And I think it was a very important and timely message. So, congratulations, Mr. President. All right. Well, I'm going to ask them some trivia questions, so you may sit or you may stay. You are free to do as you wish if you have other ones that you would like to. But this is the part where we find out how much you were paying attention. So, all right, I have some questions. I need to see hands raised for answers. First one. Leave that one. Who gave Wyatt the Pringles? Alex? Nico! And Nico, I think you're going to get one just for participating in a fantastic example. What word did Wyatt misspell? Bolton. Communication. Yes, communication. Maybe. I don't know. I think I might have eaten all the watermelon ones out of it. Let's see. What grade was Wyatt in when he memorized Builders and Wreckers? Yes, sir. 5th grade. Correct. All right. And let's see. According to Ephesians, this was a Bible verse. According to Ephesians, where should we be unified? Or how should we be unified? Cho? By the Spirit, correct. Very nice. Okay. According to Wyatt's own testimony, what was he surrounded by more, builders or wreckers? I'm going to move over here. Russell. Wreckers, correct. Sorry, Alexa. That was a direct headshot. Yeah, right? We love that. Let's see. How many times did Wyatt zoom in on the word unity? Chidike? Was it 3? Elijah? No, it wasn't 2. Sky? It was 4. And the 4th one had Bernal. And just in case, Chidike, I'm wrong, I'm going to give you one anyway. Because I might be incorrect. Here's a fun one. Was Mr. Bernal's picture on every slide? Or was it not? Shviv? Well, technically you guys couldn't see all of them. Every one of Wyatt's slides, yes, they were. So Vivi will give you one, and this one's just gonna, oh gosh. Don't kill each other, please. Okay, all right. Ugh. All right, we'll take that. And I think, let me see. Wyatt, do you have any other questions? See if they were paying attention. Oh, this is my favorite. In the book of Proverbs, what was compared to having a bad relationship? Having a bad wife or a bad relationship was like... Are we really is Russell gonna get 2? Bankston? They're like, having a bad relationship, what's the metaphor there, Emma? Having rot in your bones. That is gross, but I understand. Let's see, I think here's the last general one. That's for you, Kevin. When did Wyatt come to Bethel Christian Schools? Dean. No, Fem. You got to pick one. Thomas, 8th grade. Where was Wyatt for most of his middle school? Oh my goodness. All of you people over here. Jason, homeschooled. Correct. What did Wyatt usually do for these reading sessions, for these spelling bees? Lakatos. He pretended he was sick. Correct. These are just things that stuck out to me. I love that. Did he say you have to be super complicated with your compliments? This is a yes or no question. Glenn? No, you don't need to be super complicated with your compliments. Okay, then I think I will pray and we will yeet. Bow your heads, close your eyes. Alex, I'll give you another one if you pray. Oh, I gotta put you on the microphone. Yeah, here you go. All right.
Father God, I thank you for today. I thank you for our wonderful speaker today. You did a really good job, Lord. I pray that we have a wonderful, good day. And if anyone has sports, I pray that we don't get heat exhaustion, or if they don't get hurt either. I pray we have a good 7th period, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
You guys may go.